folks, a man's got to do what a man's got to do. Got some manly stuff to do here today. I say manly stuff. There's a deer, dead deer, that I need to pull out of the pond, and I'm not sure if we're a bit past hunting season. It's still wintertime. I'm not sure if in the forest next to us somebody was hunting and shot a deer. And sometimes when you shoot deer, they don't die right away. So I don't know if it ran over into my plot and fell in the water, or I don't know. I can only speculate, but it looks like something's been eaten on the deer, even though it's in the pond. I don't know. Maybe the fish have been eaten on the deer. So because it's not a whole deer, there's a good piece left of it that I'm gonna have to drag out of the pond. So warning, I'm gonna show this what's left of the deer real quick, and so turn the channel if this is going to freak you out. So down there, that's what's left of the deer. So let me turn that off, switch back to me. And so I say manly chore because it's still got the remnants of the deer left. Looks like it's got some weight on it. I've got sort of a makeshift, after I dragged the deer out, put it on this. It's an old lawnmower that went defunct, but got tires on it, so I'm using it as a sort of not a wheelbarrow, or kind of like a hand truck. I do have a wheelbarrow, but this has 4 wheels on it, so it's going to be easier to maneuver around in the terrain here that's kind of rough around my pond. I was talking with a hairstylist some weeks ago, and she was saying, oh, she wants to do the kind of stuff I'm doing, and she's trying to make me believe that she can handle heavy duty stuff that I kind of do, that sometimes requires some muscle. This here, getting the deer out, that's kind of lightweight chore as far as heavy stuff I have to do around here. For example, a couple of weeks ago I had some 12-foot timbers I needed to move, and my help wasn't here, and it needed to be moved because they were outside and it was raining. I need to pull them inside. So man's got to do what he's got to do. So long story short, I didn't discourage the hairstylist, but there's some things that I'm doing here on the plot that even some of the guys that work with me, it takes some pretty heavy brute force. Some things you can use the gas-powered equipment or diesel-powered equipment, and some things you just have to put your hands on and use some muscle, and you need some of that manly muscle to do it. Because I tell you, moving 12-foot 6 inch by 6 inch timbers, for those of you that know what that is, 12 foot, that's got some weight on it, and you not only have to have some body weight, but you got to have some masculine muscle to move that kind of stuff with your hands. In any case, let me get busy moving this deer out of the pond, because it can't just sit here and continue to rot in my pond. The deer is in kind of a awkward spot. It's right next to a steep bank. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag my boat out into my pond and get my boat over to the deer, and maybe tie something to it or grab it with an iron rake and float it. Well, drag it in through the water, float it basically. Paddling my boat, pulling the deer over to a shallow area where I can drag it out of the pond at a low spot on the bank. So let's get this boat. It's a 10-foot, I think 10-foot, or no, 12-foot. Is it 12 foot? It's a steel John boat. So I'll get this over into the pond, paddle over to the deer and hook something onto the deer and use the boat to drag it over to the shallow. Okay, I got the deer out of the pond using my steel John boat, getting the deer to the bank, and got it up on the bank. You might want to fast forward the next few seconds if you're kind of squeamish about seeing dead animals. So here's the dead deer on the bank where I got it to this point. Okay, so we're gonna get it up on the little homemade hand cart. This deer is maybe extra heavy. It's not a huge deer, but I think it may have soaked up a lot of water from the pond and gotten waterlogged, and it was heavy. Just pulling it up onto the bank with a fairly good rope I have that I use on my John boat. And so we're going to get this deer up on the little hand cart that made from a defunct old lawnmower, and use this to kind of help transport this thing. We're going to get it somewhere here where nature can take its course with this deer. All right, that's it for now.